Hey friends, as always, lots of confusion out here on social media around this idea of basic qualifications, applicants, recruiting. All right, I pulled a bunch of screenshots. I'm going to try to walk through this in a very non-emotional way. This definitely gets people worked up. So I'm just going to try to drop some facts on you. Do with this information what you will, but I will be sprinkling this like common sense confetti all over the internet every time y'all argue with me. Okay. So from the Department of Labor website, specifically OFCCP, Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, say that 5 times fast, we're going to talk about Internet Applicant Record Keeping Rule. Check it out. So what is an internet applicant? All right, lucky for us, it's defined here. This is somebody who has submitted an expression of interest. This is usually an online application. This can also include people that we have gone out to find and invited you to apply or asked if you would consider joining our organization, what have you. So the definition is here. I do want to point out in this second bullet point, the contractor considered the individual for employment in a particular position. The contractor we're talking about here is the company. This is the employer. So a lot of folks also get confused on this point because they think this only applies to traditional government contractors. And I'm here to tell you, FANG companies are included in this. Financial institutions, the mom and pop shop that has the right size employees and the right dollar contract with the government that puts toilet paper in the national park's bathroom, things like that. So don't assume a company is not bound by OFCCP. They may not be, and that's okay. Lots of companies aren't, but many, many, many more companies than the average job seeker anticipates are absolutely bound by these rules. Let's keep going. Cool, so we've defined an applicant. Now we get to define basic qualifications. 3 critical rules here, y'all. One is it has to be non-comparative, which means I'm not comparing candidates to each other. I'm comparing them to the job description. So for example, 3 years of experience in writing software. Okay, fine. That is a specific requirement that I can compare the person to the job, not to another engineer. Secondly, it has to be objective. So for example, a bachelor's degree, you can say, I want a degree in a specific field or related field or relevant experience, equivalent experience. It's a great line to use, especially for us non-degreed professionals like me. But we cannot specify that they have to come from an Ivy League school or have a particular GPA. That would not be objective. And then finally, it has to be relevant to the position. Would you require a salesperson to know how to code? Would you require an analyst to answer phones? Like, you have to really think about what's on the performance review for this person. What are the minimum things that this person has to accomplish in the role? Those are the things that you can create basic qualifications from. Okay, here's the part where people get confused. So how does this work in the real world? You can read the entire thing here. And again, I'll try to find the link and share it in the description if I can, but I think it's really important to understand particularly this highlighted section down below. This is an example of a organization that started with 50,000 potential prospects, applicants, internet applicants, candidates, whatever. Then they start applying these filters. They start saying, well, I've got these basic qualifications. They need to be bilingual, English, Spanish. They need to have experience in an emergency room. They need to have whatever, on and on it goes. But here's the key part. See this highlighted section? Under the Internet Applicant Rule, only, in this case 75, only 75 job seekers meeting all 5 basic qualifications would be considered for the role. We don't get to go change those things after the fact. If we want to adjust the basic qualifications, for example, we didn't get any applicants or we got 100 applicants and none of them made it through the interview process, we have to start over. We realized our requirements were too hefty. We shut down the role and we recreate it, which creates a brand new position subject to the same rules for new applicants to revisit. All right, so I hope this helps y'all. I know there's a lot of like pushback and frustration and people get very upset about this. Please know that when recruiters are talking about this, it's because we want you to understand how this game is played. We want you to understand the requirements, the restrictions, the rules that we're operating under so that you can make sure that your application data leaves no question that you meet all, that's right, all of the basic qualifications.